Yes, a while ago I was on Twitter scrolling through the landscape of festering stupidity, like you do, and one conversation came from a reply from X-Corps's Monarch, because Twitter doesn't technically exist anymore, don't know if you guys know that, saying any parent or doctor who sterilizes a child before they're a consenting adult should go to prison for life. Based indeed, but frankly I would go one further. Hell, I'll even go so far to say that anyone who advocates for any hormonal intervention at all with regards to sex, period, should be in prison for life for crimes against humanity. Age or consent be damned. And if anyone screams, oh, that's a violation of human rights, yes, sit down, Mangala. Far as I'm concerned, you've relinquished any credibility on human rights the moment you advocate for butchering another human for the sake of ideology or corporate profit. Get lost. Frankly, I think any human who does that to a child is not a human, never mind the doctor. That's a demonic butcher, that is. The prison for life part, yeah, that's getting off mildly. If I had my way, well, you can probably guess where I'm going with that. I'm not gonna bother pretending I care about the science when it comes to any of this rubbish, because there isn't any. There's no science here. This is purely ideological. This is a state-sponsored indoctrination weapon pushed by the state and amped by social media to break the family unit and further atomize society. Not to mention produce a throng of people scarred and reduced to becoming a permanent customer base for the pharmaceutical industry, and nothing these head cases will ever say is ever going to convince me that they aren't just that, head cases. So it's all a complete load of bollocks. Nor will I buy into their verbal nonsense, I'm far too old and stubborn to be swayed. But one guy on the thread, Lachlan, he said this: I haven't figured out why you like girls' toys, you're broken and must be fixed with sterilization, and a lifetime dependency on pharmaceuticals became more moral than you're perfect the way you are, gender norms are subjective, and society will accept you just as you are. I think this is arguably the best tweet that I have ever seen against the BS of the rainbow hippies. Glaring hypocrisy neatly cut with one swift flick of the rapier. Cause look at this logically. The fact that you have a category of girls and boys at all, how do you think this came about? Through the medical marvels of science, we have this thing called a sonogram, almost like the biological categories are produced by, biology. A process you can see before the young one is even born. Science is a bitch, isn't it? Secondly, the very concept of boys and girls toys is a distinction based on what? Can anyone tell us? The categorization in conjunction with the age implies there is a set of objects that one of the two sexes will gravitate towards in noticeable mass group formation, hence the applicability of the category. Again, how do you think this came about? It's not social engineering, mind you. They're too young to grasp any type of social engineering. It's almost like this propensity is, natural. Oh, here I am, the heretical utensil, pointing out the observable realities of Mother Nature herself. How dare I? Also, if gender norms are subjective, how on earth can it be claimed that anyone who enjoys hobbies usually associated with the opposite sex, because there are only two, is an indication that that individual needs to somehow reconfigure their genitals, which oddly enough is to conform to the older order of masculine and feminine, which these cretins simultaneously claim to be outdated and oppressive, in order to pass as who they really are, as if this is somehow a reliable indicator of their true selves. Am I the only one that thinks that's not even just insane, that's just plain stupid? Look how wacky this is when you strip this down. This perspective implies that even the hobbies themselves are not inclusive, but rather exclusive, and they must remain so by trying to make sex itself malleable. For people who try and claim that gender is a social construction and it's not rooted in biology in any way, which is sheer lunacy, they're unusually bold about reinforcing traditional gender norms, don't you think? Because look at it this way, if you ascribe to this kind of thinking, you're admitting that biological sex, their habits and inclinations, not only exist, but that they need to be, in a wickedly contorted manner, enforced. Because in this worldview, effeminate men and masculine women can't technically exist. Someone should have a word with the L's and G's, because I think the T's might be trying to purge them.